Hello, hello. Once again, thank you for calling and tuning in to what's happening in the 419. As always, I promised you that I was coming to you again with another topic. This topic is going to focus on DL, but more on the vicarious. Trying to see where I want to start. Well, this is a true story. This happened in a city I used to live in, but not the one I live in now. I won't call names because that's to protect people and the innocent, and I will not call streets or locations or nothing like that. For the safety of younger children, that might come across this, I will not use certain languages or words, but enough that the adults will be able to understand where I'm going to head it to. For one, well, before I start there, I want to talk about this individual who hung around the fellas, the guys, and they mojo mighty and this and that with their pants sagging. I'm gonna get into that one day too. Um, and they, Mr. I'm for the ladies, and the ladies like me. That when gay people come around, they frown. They got their face turned up. They don't want to say nothing. They act like they don't want to talk to gay people just because they're around certain people. But when they're not around their homies or their friends, then they're trying to hold a conversation. And I'll get into that later too. So this particular person, I was at the bus stop getting ready to go to work because my car was down and I had to actually get a new car because that motor went out. And this person always would see me around in that community. Wouldn't really say nothing when they're around people, but at the bus stop, they might say a couple of things. But this particular day, I was at the bus stop by myself. And then they walked up because they was at the bus stop. They're going to work as well. Um, we was talking and stuff, and then they started asking questions about. So yes, can I ask you a question? I said yes, and he was talking about how do y'all do this? How do y'all do that? And I correct us. What do you mean y'all? He said, you're gay, you dudes, like that. And so I said, all depends on the individual. So I was sitting on the bench, and he was taller than me. So if I'm sitting down low as I was, if he stood up, his I'm gonna say crouch was closer to my face, that level face wise. So he was sitting there, and we were just talking. And during this conversation, he was talking about how he's a woman's man, all this, but he's talking to me, asking me questions, I answered him, and he started getting what is called aroused. And this bulge began to get in his pants. And it was warm that day, so we all was in shorts, nice tennis shoes, shirt now. So he's in shorts. So getting to talking and stuff. So he kept looking around, I guess to see if nobody's coming, and we realized that we already missed the bus. The bus came like 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before me, and he finally looked at his schedule. So we had like 45 minutes an hour for another bus come. So we were sitting there talking and stuff. And so he just kept on talking. And I'm sitting here, I said, this a little bit curious nigga, don't know. I would turn him out. He's messing with someone that's been out here for a while. But he wasn't too young. He was in his 30s, late 30s, middle 30s, almost 40s. And so he just kept talking and talking. And so I told him, you know what? Put your money where your mouth is, or don't write no check you cannot cash. And now he getting really motivated. Man, I know what I can do. I can do this and I can do that. I said, oh, yeah, everybody talks, well dressed, keep yourself groomed and clean. Now he was very clean and dressing. I said, money talks. So another bus just passed by. Well, that's not the bus we had to get on. That bus went a whole different direction. So it went by and he just talking and talking. Now keep in mind he's still aroused and everything. So I said, you talk a lot of mess. I said, them girls you're messing must ain't been doing the job because they have not been pleasing you. Oh, the girls please, I'm the girl. So I said, man, I would rock your world. I would turn your world out. And he, I'm just talking like, and so nah, you can't do this, you can't do this. And so he called us up, accident bumping against me. And I said, you don't want to do that too many times because some folks that I'm gonna use the word. And so I said, I'm finna give this man a ride for his money. So yes, it did happen. So afterwards, everything was done. Even so, we get his he said, wow. He said, I never felt like this before. And I said, mm-hmm. And so I got to talk with him. He said, you're not going to believe this, but I've always been nervous. This is my very first time. I always wanted to be with a guy, nervous, and things like that. Didn't never know how to go by it. And from the experience, I can tell that was his first time. He very experienced. And so we talked, and went on like that. He said, can I get your number? I said, hell, what's it? So I gave him the number. He put his number on my phone. And we talked a little bit. The bus went on. We got on the bus, same bus. I got off the bus because where I was getting off was closer to my job. And he had to go down a little ways further. So before he got off, he said, what time you get off? I said, I'm always getting off at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. He said, okay, I usually get off around that time too. So did the work and everything, got to the bus stop to come home. He wasn't on that bus. So I took the bus home. When I got off the bus to go across the street to go around the corner to my house, he was crossing the street. And I said, where are you coming from? He said, I got off the bus earlier and I knew you said sometime. So he said, can I come over? Can we talk? And I said, what your friends gonna say? They see you coming over my house and stuff. He said, they at work and so they ain't around. And I said, come on. So we went. He came over. And I won't go into details of what all happened, but you can about imagine, And then the next day, me and my friends and some neighbors, we went out to the park because they wanted to just chill, and I didn't chill with them. And while they was chilling, I was actually reading a book because I was getting ready to take a test in a couple of days. So I had my book I was studying while they was in. And who was there? When he was by his friends, he did not acknowledge me. He did not recognize me. Wasn't a hello, hey, or nothing. But when they walked off, he was talking. Hey, how you doing? I said, no. I said, we don't play that. If you can't acknowledge me by your friends as a hello or nothing, you can't acknowledge me, period. I said, I don't let people justify who I can speak to, who I can't speak to. So since I don't do it, I demand my respect as well. He said, but they going to say, I said, that's your problem you got to deal with, not mine. And so I moved down to the further, they had these long benches at the park. I moved down to the further bench. So one of his friends came back over and they got to talking and he looked at me at the corner of his eye. I didn't even look up. I didn't say nothing. So the other guy that came back up, the way he was sitting, he was actually able to face me and see me. And he said, hey, what's up? I said, hey, how are you doing? I said, fine. And, that was it. And so he sat there a minute and he thought about it. He said, oh, you know, D, everybody called me D. He said, you know D? He said, no. So he was just sitting there and I just spoke. He said, yeah, D comes to the park every now and then. And I see him up every now and then. And I wanted to blast him, but I did not. That's a lie. I have never been to that park at that time. That's the first time I've been to that park. So I guess that was his way of easing the conversation. And so his other friends, they came over and eventually, so they set out and to go out in St. Mary. And they said, "Oh," he said, "Oh, everybody know D. This is D. He comes to the park a lot, you know. I see him on the bus going to work sometimes." So he started feeling gradually with it. And so one of the other guys said, "Hey, you on that board with the Pride that fights for the gay pride and stuff?" I said, "Yes." Are you gay? I say 100% and proud, very proud. I said, "You got a problem with it?" "No, we got cousins and stuff. I don't hang with you, but it's all right. I don't judge nobody." I said, "It's okay." I said, "It doesn't matter if you had a problem with it. I just asked you." "Yes, I'm fine, you know." And so after then, they all started loosening, lightening up. But I can tell in that circle that there was a lot of DLs and more by curious. And the one guy that came up that said hello to me, he eventually seen me somewhere else, and he was telling me, he said, "You're very attractive and stuff. I'd like to get to know you and talk to you one day. Uh, you stay around here?" I said, "Not too far, you know." But that's anyway. We didn't change numbers or nothing. But I said, "You'll see me off and on." And so he said, "Well, what you call might know something about you." I said, "How you gonna know about me? He just seen me on the bus." He said, "Well, okay, no problem." But the long story what I'm trying to show you people is there are a lot of guys out there, especially with their pants sagging and showing their butts. Some are bi curious and some are not. Some have already been doing their thing, but they're in the closet because they don't want to wonder what their friends going to say, or they don't want to lose friendship, and don't realize their friends do the same thing they're doing undercover behind. But do not allow anyone to dictate who you can speak to, who you can hang around, or whatever. You are the control of your scenery around and who you be around. You are an adult. Be an adult. Act like an adult. Don't let nobody lead you or guide you. Now, when they sagging, and I tell people all the time, just sagging, they say it's a style. It's not. It's called ignorance. Either you're doing one thing, you're advertising yourself, or you want someone to see your round butt or your flat butt, because some ain't got no butts at all. I said, but it's not appropriate in all places, but people do what they want to do. But what you're doing is telling me, "Hey guys, look at my ass, look at my butt." Some of them say they're doing it for the girls, but come on. Most girls are not interested in your ass. They're interested in what's in front, not what's in back. Come on, be real. So you have to think about that as well. And even those that bulge in the front, they're advertising in a way as well too. Some of them don't care. Free ball, whatever you want to call it. Um, be wisely. But my whole moral to this whole story is respect yourself. Have respect for yourself. Demand respect, and you'll get it back. Do not let anyone degrade you or low grade you. Be comfortable of the skin you in and who you are, and others will accept you in the same way. You're not like a with a price tag. The value of you is worth more than money can buy. Remember that and always stand with that, because you are somebody, and somebody wants to be with you that will respect the value of who you are. Thank you for listening. I'll come back to you again on another topic and hope this is giving you something to think about. There's always somebody by curious or the DL out there. Ladies, don't be fooled. And this is not just for the men. There's DL ladies as well that love ladies and love seeing other women as well. But know your worth, know your respect, and know who you are. A dream without a vision is like a candle without a wick. Take care. This is D signing out, and I'll see you again. Thank you. Thank you.